In tonight's Return to D-Day, the surprise meeting that was 70 years in the making. Highland Park resident Major Brooks was a fighter pilot during World War II, stationed for a time outside a small French village in Normandy. He not only returned to that village, but to the same warm smile that greeted him when all things around him at that time looked so dark. Sainte-Mary-Glace was the first French town to be liberated on D-Day.
The people there were so grateful.
And it was from an airfield nearby that then 21-year-old fighter pilot Major Brooks would spend several weeks flying missions.
All I really was living for was to kill Germans. And we did a lot of that, dropping bombs, and I hope God forgives me.
Brooks would fly over Bastogne, Bonn, and beyond. He would earn a Silver Star. The price would be high.
When you go to sleep in a tent with 4 guys and you wake up in the morning and there's only 3 of you or 2 of you left, you're getting pretty close.
The pressure got to many a man. Once Brooks found a hardened pilot collapsed and crying.
But that scene that played out with him on his knees crying, was that uncommon?
No, that wasn't uncommon.
Not at all.
It was very common.
Back in 1944, Henri-Jean Renaud was just 10 years old. He was a boy living in Sainte-Mary-Glace. The night of the invasion, paratroopers jumped into the village, and many of them didn't make it.
And I remember perfectly this one who was in this big tree because his feet was at maybe 1 meter from the soil, and I was 10, so his boots were at this level.
70 years later, the same town where they met would now be the backdrop for a reunion. 2 men reflecting on the party that brought them together not long after D-Day. A chance for pilots like Brooks to put kids then like Henri at ease.
It was my first time to have drinking Coca-Cola and something like that.
Oh yeah, candy bars.
Yes, exactly.
They are more similar than they are different now.
Actually, it was quite a thrill to see someone that was at the party we gave for the 10-year-old kids.
When they jumped here, I was 10 years old, they were 20, and now we have a little bit the same age, and it gets me sad.
Sad because there are fewer veterans coming back to Sainte-Mary-Glace.
When the veterans will be not coming, it will be not the same thing. But we will try to maintain this special gratitude to the American nation.
As for Brooks, closure. He's glad he came back, able to visit both the living as well as the dead.
And I just thank God that I made it through all of it.
One of the lucky that made it back. DaughtersOfWorldWar2.org, by the way, the Dallas-based charitable organization, is responsible for taking all these men back at their own expense. They rely on donations. Tomorrow night, a father, a son, and a story that's not going to leave a lot of dry eyes. Perhaps no greater opportunity than to share the story of what you did in World War II with your son or daughter. And we travel that road tomorrow night with the Alfords, David and Charlie Alford. Great couple of guys.
Look forward to that tomorrow.